Hi there, today I'm sharing a video with you that's a little bit different from my normal cooking and my recipe ones. It's just because basically I've started getting my gluten-free foods again on prescription, and if you live in the UK and you're finding it a little bit difficult with managing the higher costs of gluten-free foods, it might be something that you'd like to consider as well. I know a lot of areas in England don't offer this service. I'm fortunate to live in an area that does still offer basic gluten-free foods on prescription, but if you live in Wales or Scotland or Northern Ireland, then you are still able to get gluten-free products on prescription, and also you don't pay for prescriptions in those areas as well. So in England you do, but if you do live in England, you can choose then whether you pay for a one-off prescription charge or whether you go down the prepayment route. I've gone down the prepayment route because I get other things on prescription. So I get some eye drops as well, get two lots of different eye drops. So I've gone down the prepayment, and already it's benefiting me because it's covering all my costs. They say with a prepayment that if you get 2 items or more per month, then it's definitely worth doing that. So when it came to choosing what to order on prescription, I am quite familiar already with a lot of the brands, but what I did, I went online and looked at the different companies that offer gluten-free foods on prescription, and I checked out the breads. I wanted to go for breads that had high fibre, and also I've gone for ones that I did already know and I already liked as well. So the bread rolls that I chose, they would be my bread rolls of choice if I was buying from the supermarket. So they're the Warburton's gluten-free white rolls that I've gone for with those. And then the bread I've ordered is the Gluten fibre loaf. I did ask for the fresh bread, but I actually got the longer life. But to be honest, it's done me a favour because with the fresh bread, you do generally get quite a few loaves. And if you've not got the space in the fridge, it could be a bit of a struggle. I mean, in the past, I've passed loaves on to my dad to pop in his freezer and to my friend to pop in her freezer. But these are great because even though they're long life, you can still open the pack and eat the bread straight away. You don't have to toast it, and it's lovely. I've been delighted with the bread that I've got so far. But if you're starting out new for prescriptions, then and you're able to get gluten-free breads or gluten-free products, what I'd suggest is if you go online, I'm going to put the links of different companies that do gluten-free products on prescription, and if you contact them, they can arrange to send samples out to you, providing you are able to get products prescribed. And what is really handy when I was looking at the websites, if you put your postcode in, it will automatically tell you if you live in England whether your area does still prescribe, and if you're fortunate and it does, and you've not had samples from the company, then if you get in touch with them, they'll send samples out. So that's a perfect way of trying. But if you're not able to do that, don't be put off with getting prescription just because of that, because you can swap the things that you have on there. So just because you choose something 1 month, that's not set in stone. You can change. And everybody that is able to get gluten-free foods on prescription, they have a unit recommendation. So without getting too technical, my unit recommendation is 14 units a month. So for example, a loaf of bread is 1 unit, and a packet of the rolls, these rolls in particular, some rolls are more, but these apparently are only half a unit, but most packets of rolls I think are 1 unit. So and you might find that you don't need your full allowance every month. It may be that you eat a lot of bread and you go through that, and that's fine, and then obviously you top up them with things from the supermarket, because by getting things on prescription that then offsets it. But if you don't feel, because I don't think I'm going to go through that within a month that I've got, so it might be sort of every 6, maybe every 8 weeks when I get my prescription again. But that's how I've gone down the line of choosing what to get. Okay, so when it comes to the areas that prescribe, as I mentioned before, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland all offer gluten-free products on prescription. It may be discretion in the area, but it is available everywhere in those areas. And in those areas, it's quite a selection that you're able to get. It's just basic items, which, they do help hugely. because as I say, then if you get any additional products from the supermarket, that's just helped out. And as I say, in Wales, Scotland and Ireland, the prescriptions are free as well there. But what's really useful, if you go onto the gluten-free company websites that I mentioned before, when you type in the areas, it explains what their process is, so that's brilliant. So say I've popped the links before, then you've got that. If you do live in England, then it is limited to the areas that still prescribe. So again, if you put your postcode in the companies, then you will find out whether you're still able to have products prescribed, and then you would go from there. I mean, with it, as I say, if you can try things before you order, then that's great, but don't be worried about swapping and changing the products that you get on prescription. You are able to do that. Okay, so when it comes to paying for a prescription, there's various ways that you can do that. As I mentioned before, I've gone down the NHS prepayment certificate route, and that's definitely more beneficial for me because I get more items on prescription and it just covers the whole cost. They say the prepayment's definitely beneficial for somebody who's getting 2 items or more per month on prescription, so it's just something you'd need to look into. Basically, the costs at the moment work out that if you're just paying for a one-off prescription, and it works out at £9.35 per prescription, but for the certificate, you can either choose to have it for a 3-month certificate, which will be £30.25, or you can do a 12-month one, which would be £108.12. With the 12-month one, you can choose whether you do a one-off or instalments of 10 payments, and that's what I've chosen to do. It just breaks it down even more. You can buy the prepayment certificate either online or you can do it via your pharmacy. But as I say, it's just a case of working out what's best for you. So that's how the prepayment certificate works. I'm just looking to see what else I need to cover to make sure I've covered everything with you. Okay, yes, there is something that I thought about that I know when I worked at Jabella I got asked about quite a lot. When you get a prescription, the prescription cost isn't actually on how many items you've got, it's on the products that you've got. So for example, if you get 8 loads that are all the same, that will just be one prescription charge rather than being 8 prescription charges. So it's, as I say, with the fresh bread, you generally get a set amount with the fresh bread, and that will cover the whole thing. So say it's per product rather than being per quantity. I hope that makes sense. So that I think covers everything with the prescription. I just thought it'd be useful just to share with you that I was getting it again on, my bread again on prescription, because I know how much it's helping me, and hopefully it might be helpful for you too. I'll pop all the links below that I mentioned before, but that camera doesn't look straight at all there, just straighten that up. But if there's anything I've missed out or anything you're not sure about, then just drop me a question. That's absolutely great, and hopefully I'll be able to help you with that. So thanks as always for watching. I look forward to being back again with you really soon. If you're able to subscribe to my channel, if you've not already done that, I'd love you to do that. See you again soon. Bye for now.